You know, what I think is really cool about the southwest corner of Wyoming is that it's this confluence of history, transitory people, and the railroad and coal mines, and what has become, you know, a place that really looks at preserving that history, but has looked now into outdoor recreation with amazing attractions like Flaming Gorge. There's a lot of cool stuff that blends what drew people to Wyoming in the first place, and honestly what we see drawing people to the west today.
And it's just a good way to have this be kind of the hub of your trip and have it be the start of your trip, and hunker down a little bit and then start exploring out from here. A great part with Evanston is the downtown has a very walkable main street, and it's one of those rare main streets that isn't part of kind of the main drag as folks are coming through. So it's something that you really want to get off the interstate for, get off the main highway, and go down into that town and experience places like where we're standing right now. Do one of the tours around the Roundhouse.
These are beautiful buildings.
Yeah, it's pretty neat out here.
Have you been down here before?
I never have. Yeah. I'm excited to explore a little bit though.
You know, the rail yards and the Roundhouse, this is my first visit out here, and I was blown away. The scope and scale of this place dwarfs anything else in the state. And I kind of like that it's right on the old tracks, so you still have the train rolling by in the background. We saw it a few times while we were touring the space today, and getting a chance to take a spin on the turntable and to see the scale of the engines that were the lifeline to the American West for 100 years is incredible.
It's so great that they kept that history and kept that story of Evanston here with these immaculate facilities. I mean, just walking around, I can't wait to come here as a tourist myself, go to local breweries, go to local restaurants, go to the local shops, and just kind of be with the locals that are there to welcome you in. But then if you want to get adventurous, if you want to kind of lose yourself in the area, go out and just kind of start exploring.
I'm David Rule. I'm a full-time YouTube creator, born and raised right here in Wyoming, and I love this state so much. Having traveled the world now, I'm realizing every time I come back to Wyoming just how special it was to grow up here. You can almost have like a little slice of a lot of different landscapes throughout the world in this one little rectangle, and that's super cool. This place where we are right now, it's only an hour and a half from where I grew up, and I can't believe it. I've actually never been here. And that's the beauty of Wyoming. There's so many hidden gems just tucked away in the middle of nowhere like this. I mean, driving in on the road to get here was an experience of its own. It's like 1 minute you're just driving through sagebrush, the next minute you see these super cool desert peaks just popping up over the horizon, and as you get closer and closer, it just turns into a different world, turns into a different landscape. I was home for a week in between other trips, and I thought it'd be fun to go on a little adventure while I have some time back in Wyoming. And I was strolling around on Google Maps, and I happened to see these big spires just jetting out of the desert. And that looks so cool, I had to go explore them. So I thought I'd drive out here and try to do some night photography, try to capture some night skies behind them, because this is one of the coolest foregrounds you could imagine. In order to fully plan out these adventures, sometimes you just need to show up and see where the journey takes you.
All right, this is pretty neat to think that this is so close to downtown where like, you know, it's a bustling town, we got the main street, and then this was just kind of the start of the railroad and how kind of Wyoming became Wyoming.
Right, yeah, exactly. You know, feeding the railroad and the smiths, and, you know, blacksmithing is obviously a huge part of Wyoming history too. This is pretty amazing, and they're huge.
They're massive inside.
Yeah, really huge. And you can go inside. You know, this is a very cool connection between the past and the present.
Totally.
And definitely something worth getting off the highway and coming out to see. I mean, there's hiking trails, it's a wide open landscape out here. It's a beautiful spot.
The site itself is where they would make the charcoal to then ship out along the railroad so that blacksmiths could work, so that they had the rail ties, so that all these key components of expanding the region and expanding Wyoming, all that came from the Piedmont charcoal kiln site. It just really kind of blows your mind as to how primitive things were and what they had to go through to build things up and make it inviting for not only travelers, but for people that live in these communities.
You know, whether this is your first trip to Wyoming or it's your 100th visit, Evanston needs to feature on your itinerary. It's got a ton to offer. You know, the skies are amazing out here. Stargazing is absolutely spectacular. Outdoor recreation's incredible. Railroad history and just Western culture is alive in this community. So it needs to be on your bucket list, it needs to be on your itinerary, and you need to see it.
One of the super cool things about astrophotography, specifically astro time lapses, is the fact that you don't really know what you're gonna get until you check it the next morning. Sometimes you're gonna have just a perfectly clear, beautiful sky. Sometimes you might have a aurora borealis, and other times you're gonna have clouds. But it's all part of the process, all part of the fun, and regardless of what happens, it's always a good time. This is just a place that represents what Wyoming is, just a place to find refuge, a place to find tranquility and beauty. Whether you're a family, whether you're a solo adventurer, whether you're a photographer like me looking for some epic new landscapes to add to your portfolio, there's something for everyone here, and I'm just so stoked that this is right here in my backyard. Wyoming has really shaped who I am in so many different ways. I mean, in every way, from making me a person who really enjoys and appreciates the outdoors and nature, to being a person who has just really good core values because of the community I grew up in. There's something really special about this rectangle, and I'm just stoked to be part of it.